Hello everyone, myself Dr. NAZIM HIKMAT from West Bengal, Kolkata. Here I am sharing my views and opinion about the standard of Indian Fantail. Thanks UPC for giving me the opportunity to sharing my very little knowledge and experience about the Indian Fantail. I am an Indian Fantail breeder for last 7 to 8 years, but I used to breed the Jumbo Fantails mainly. For now, last 7 to 8 months have just started standard Indian Fantail, and my inspiration comes from two US master breeder Mr. Dan Skills and Mr. Harvey. I used to follow them and try to learn how they upgrade the standard of Indian Fantail. So I am very new in standard Indian Fantail, so I'm not very much experienced. Just sharing my little experience with you. Thank you. Well, my mentor who helps me a lot and also inspiring me to come in the field of standard Fantail. He's one of the best Fantail breeder in India. Nice personality, humble, down to earth. I just got him all time. Whenever I message him or called him, he just replied. No other than Mr. Mansoor Ali Bhai. Thanks, Mansoor Ali Bhai. And why I decided to breed the Indian Fantail specially, because first of all, it is an Indian breed and it looks like a peacock. You know, peacock has a beautiful tail, and it is also our national bird. So these are the very few things. That's why I'm keeping this breed specially. Thank you. Okay, the strategies have to be taken during the male-female pairing, and it's very important in the Fantail because if you buy a champion male bird and the champion female bird, you pair them, you may not get the champion quality chicks. So always try to collect the good lineage birds and see the faults of those birds. You have the picture of standard in your mind, and you see the faults of the male bird and see the faults of the female bird, and paired with the male with his opposite features female, and to overcome those faults, and you will get some good chicks. Whatever chicks you will get, just keep them as stock bird. And after getting those chicks adult, you again the same thing, see the faults of the male and female, and you pair. And in second generation, definitely you will get some good chicks. Not in second generation, third generation you will get the standard Indian Fantail, I'm sure. Thank you. Okay, here I'm sharing the picture of recent standard of Indian Fantail. And next couple of videos I will share you the details. One thing I forgot, that is the care have to be taken during fostering. For my suggestion, if your parent birds are healthy and okay, then allow them to take care of their own baby. Otherwise, you can give those chicks to the foster. You have to check all the chicks every day, whether the foster's parents feed them properly or not. If necessary, you have to hand feed them for better health of those chicks. And you have to check the wings and flights and the tail feathers. Never allow the wings feather to come into the tail feathers. If come, then cut the wing feathers little. And you also have to check the tail as distinct or in its correct position. If not, then cut 3, 4 or 5 tail feather from the distinct side end. Provide the fosters a balanced diet and give them the proper vitamins and minerals, calcium for better health. And one important thing is the grit. It is very important. Always provide. Okay, the Indian Fantail standard is divided into 12 parts of its body structure. Each part contains some points and if you add those points it will be total 100 points. Okay, let's start with tail, because it's very important. It's a tail bit. The name is Indian Fantail. The tail contains the 20 points. Next, the station or stance, it is also very important, contains 20 points. Then the platform of the bird, that is legs, muffs and hocks, contains 10 points. Then the front portion, that is the breast, the neck and the frontal, contains 10 points. Then the back, the space between the neck and the tail, contains 5 points. Then the head and the eye contains 5 points. The crest contains 5 points. The wings and flights contains 5 points. The feathering or condition of the feather condition, and that contains 5 points. The condition of the bird, how it looks, dirty or good, it also contains 5 points. The color of the bird contains 5 points, and finally the body shape of the bird contains 5 points. Okay, let's start with the tail, because tail is the most important part of the Indian Fantail bird. The ideal tail should be round, held nicely upright and wrapped about 3 circles into the floor, and should allow the flights to comfortably fit under the tail, so the tips are not pushed to the ground. The tail should not be too much of flat or too much of cone shaped. It should be slightly concave, just like similar to a saucer. And the bird's tail should be slightly away from the head. And there should not be any gaps between the tail feathers, and the tail feathers should be wide, hard and smooth. That's very important. In the backing, or cushion feathers are to be upright, proportionally wide, not crooked, fitting tightly against to the tail and centered. That's it. Thank you. Okay, the second most part of the Indian Fantail is the stance, and the combination of beautiful open large tail and the stance give the impression of levelness with an upright neck, create a unique look. Proper stance allow the pieces and parts of our Indian Fantail into harmonious balance. Proper stance is achieved when the bird is not nervous, not crouching, not stretched upward, but comfortable and standing solidly on his feet. The body carriage will give the general impression of levelness. There will be graceful slide tightly up of breast. The tail should be carried upright at a slight angle. Okay, the second most part of the Indian Fantail is the stance, and the combination of beautiful open large tail and the stance give the impression of levelness with an upright neck, create a unique look. Proper stance allow the pieces and parts of our Indian Fantail into harmonious balance. Proper stance is achieved when the bird is not nervous, not crouching, not stretched upward, but comfortable and standing solidly on his feet. The body carriage will give the general impression of levelness. There will be graceful slide tightly up of breast. The tail should be carried upright at a slight angle away from the head. The distance between the, here I am showing the distance between the head, back of the head and the tail should be equal to the head length. Here I am showing the distance between the back of the head and the tail should be equal to the head length, not including the beak. The head should be situated in the halfway of the tail length. Here I am try to draw sketch a line, and that is the halfway, and this is the tail length. The head should be situated in the halfway of the tail length. Okay. Another thing, the eye and the front toenail should be in a straight line. That is, if I draw a line, it should be straight between the eye and the toenail. This is the very few things must have to kept in mind when we will discuss. We are discussing about the stands. Thank you. Okay, and next part is the legs, muffs and hocks. The legs to be medium in length, allowing the bird's body to be elevated off the ground, giving the visual clearance under the bird's belly. The desired distance between the bird's belly or breast and the ground should be half and or half and one and half, should be 1 or 1.5 inch. The muffs should be cover the toenails, and it should be sweeping from forward to backward. The hocks are to be approximate the length of the muffs, the hocks blending up into the bird's body. Thank you. Okay, next part is the breast. Next part is the breast, neck and the frontal. The breast, neck and the overall frontal area of the bird is to be very full, wide and thick in appearance. Give the impression of power. The shape of the breast is to be full, broad and even. The neck is to be medium in length and full. The neck is to be medium and full, but not so full that it eliminates the backspace. And the breast should cover smoothly the wing buds. Here I am showing you the breast should be covered the wing buds. The wing buds should not be visible from the front. Okay. The next part is the backspace. The back is defined as the area from the base of the neck to the beginning of the rise of the tail. That is, this area is the backspace. Okay. The backspace should not be eliminated, or it should not be too much long. That is the long backspace. It should be medium. That have sketched in this Indian Fantail. The head, eyes and beaks. Next part. The head is to be pleasing proportion to the bird, with round front skull, not pinched. The head will be greater in length than white, not rounded. In all instances, the eyes are to be both same color, appear alert, and showing no splits or cracks in the pupillar iris. The darker birds have the dark beak, the lighter bird have the light beak. Okay, next part is the crest. The crest should be small. The crest should be small. Peak crest coming to a sharp point. Acceptable is a small crest hooked slightly in the center. And if I draw a line between the big eye and the crest, it should be in a straight line. Next, the wings and flights. The part of the wings should not be appear but blend harmoniously into the feathering of the breast. That is, I already showed you before. The wings and flights are to be carried in the line with the body to support the impression of levelness. The flights are to be carried under the tail. It should be carried under the tail and not touch the ground. And the length of the flights should be medium, not too much length or too short. It should be medium length. Next, the feathering of the Indian Fantail. This is the most important part. The judges are very appreciate on the feathering condition. So the feathering should be the hard, smooth and white and silky, especially the tail feathers. Okay, what is a balanced Indian Fantail bird? It simply balances the pleasing blending of all parts so that when looked upon, the bird appears completely as a whole, not visually dominated by overly large tail or small tail. Muff too long or too short. Stance is correct. Not tip too high, not too forward, nor crouched, nor stretched. The pieces and parts blend well. The stance, the body, head, neck, chest, back, tail, muffs, wings, everything is in its proper proportion. That is a balanced bird. Thank you. Here is the balanced bird sketching, beautiful bird, and it's all have its in proper proportion. Okay guys, I have tried to my level best to share my last 7 to 8 months experience on standard. I hope you enjoyed a lot. My aim was not making a lengthy video but to touch the basic points only. Here I also not discuss about the faults of all parts. When Mansoor Bhai offered me to take a class for UPC WhatsApp group about the standard, it was a challenge for me because I have never done such classes. So it's a new experience for me. In this group there are many master breeders are here. The international judges are here. I am very little to them from all aspects. So if I made any mistake, please forgive me. And also thanks UPC again and Mr. Ranjit Balram who helps my words to translate into the Malayalam. Thank you.